I mean, I think we can. In fact, I'm going to hand over the wheel to you because you can save the date and rev up your excitement for an adrenaline-fueled adventure on September 24, 2024. And join us as we dive into the heart-pounding world of Drift City in Cape Town and get ready for a day filled with top drifters competing head-to-head on a technical course that demands speed, smoke, angle, and of course timing. Very important. Now here to chat to us about this adrenaline-filled day is driver Chris Long, as well as Drift City Operations Manager Natasha Peterson, who are here to make sure we can make light of this and of course get you all the details as well. I'm going to hop over here. So,
how's it going?
What's happening?
That's right. You see, I have to pop up here because this is how we do it. I mean, it's a casual sort of vibe. But let's first install, Natasha, in terms of Drift City, like, how did this entire concept start? I mean, was there a massive appeal when it came to drifting in the city? And, of course, you just said, let's take city and drift, and then Drift City.
Put it together, yeah.
And how has it evolved over the years?
So I think what many people might not know is that a group of friends were sitting on the Grand Parade talking about all things motorsport, as boys do, as guys do. And there was birthed the initial concept for Drift City.
All right.
I think what is incredibly special about this event is that traditionally events like this happen on a traditional racetrack.
Yeah.
And so what we've done is we've merged the heritage and the love of motorsport and brought it right to the city centre, and now it's hosted on the Grand Parade. I mean, you cannot find a more historical place in Cape Town, and I think it's a locally birthed concept that has just increased in popularity by many South Africans, even globally. This event now has really just upped the game, as it were.
Well, talking about the game, we've got Chris Long over here, and I think this is a very cool opportunity for people to know a bit more about drifting itself. So for those who actually don't know what drifting is, all right, maybe they've drifted off, they haven't focused, so can you give us a little crash course, like what is the drifting concept? If somebody doesn't know about vehicles, cars, racing, what is it?
So drifting is essentially getting the car sideways, but in a competition format. So, you know, the proper way drift is tandem competition. So you've got a lead driver and a chase driver. But you're essentially forcing the car to go out of being in a straight line, you know. So it's almost as if, you know, you pull the handbrake at a certain speed, like 100, 120 km an hour, to intentionally go sideways around a corner. But then on top of that, you've got essentially clipping points and a certain line that the judges would want you to drive.
Yes.
You know, it's a very intense sport, and it's great competition, and Drift City, you know, exposes that competition. You know, there's 32 of the best drifters from around the country. So
it's so cool, but I know there are challenges because you speak to 120 kilometers per hour and then putting the handbrake up and you're going sideways. Like in my car, I will flip over a couple of times and then some. So, I mean, what are some of the challenges that you guys face as drivers?
It's just more the nerves, essentially, you know, in the beginning. I mean, from the car setup, I mean, we dial the cars in, you know, throughout the whole year, you know, especially for an event like this. We try, you know, set the car up for that specific event. So we've got all the bells and whistles in the car, if you want to call it that. But from a driver perspective, it's just trying to be in focus and, you know, getting your head straight. But as soon as you release that clutch and you accelerate away, you know, all of that kind of disappears and the adrenaline kicks in, you know, so, yeah.
So for Drift Corner, of course, the experience is a bit different. You said you have judges, so the format of the entire race, though, you basically have to, you know, score points. You get runs and you get points. Is that correct?
Yeah, so for Drift City, we run a head-to-head competition. Okay, so, cool. As I mentioned, there's 32 of the best drifters from around the country. They go in a knockout sort of format, so at the top 32, you have a qualifying run, so we only get 4 runs, I think, in total. You get your fastest guy, obviously going sideways. He'll be number 1, 32nd guy. They'll face each other, then it knocks out 16, 8, 4, until you get a final and a winner.
This is so cool. Now, Natasha, with regard to the experience of any sort of Drift City, it's not only about this beautiful vehicle and the drivers, but there's a culture around drifting. And I know that even spectators, fans, people who are new to the sport can come and enjoy something like Drift City. So what's in it for them?
Yeah, so I think what we love about how we've built up this Drift City brand is that it's a motorsport and lifestyle event. And it literally has been created in the way that there is something to do for the whole family.
Nice.
So we have go-karting, we have incredible sponsor brand activation zones. There's, of course, an incredible food village. There's a go-karting area. And then we've got what is called spectator ride-alongs, where people can jump into a car with Malika, with Reddy D.
What?
And have a mini version of what these guys actually do on the track. And I think the other thing, just to add on to what Chris was saying, is that the track is a duplicate, so they're going head-to-head, and the audience is able to see them compete against each other. And that's an incredible thing to do and to watch. Yeah.
This is so cool. How do we get tickets? I want to see Chris race. I want to see you in action. I want to see the entire festival. Like, where do I get tickets? Sign me up.
CompuTicket. Online, please, or go to a retail outlet where there's a CompuTicket kiosk. Get your tickets. 150 Rand gets you in. It's cheap. For a full day experience on Heritage Day, celebrating safe motorsport in the Western Cape.
And that's exactly what it's about, though. It's a lot of safety protocols, but of course all of this is sorted, and I love this. So Natasha and Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, what are you doing now? You're going to come through? You're going to start the car?
Yeah, we're going to go.
Yes, baby. Get in here. All right, don't forget your steering wheel. I think you're going to need that. Just go for it. There you go. You can just hear this thing starting to rumble. Oh, yeah. That's it. Here we go. Thank you so much. So I can't hear my left ear, but in my right ear, I'm telling you, it's your feel-good breakfast show. And make sure you stick with us because we've got much more action coming your way very, very soon. It's going to be unreal.